Good morning, everyone. It's Amanda Golightly from Align Natural Health. Happy Friday to everyone. Hopefully, you're having a great day so far. So, my title, you might be wondering, what the heck does that have to do with anything health related? What is a grammarian? Pardon me. So, in the world of Toastmasters, a grammarian is someone who listens ever so closely to the talk that everyone gives at a meeting. And they are to highlight filler words. Your ums, your ahs, so, ands, like I seem to gravitate towards ands a lot. These are people who basically they'll keep track of everything during the meeting and at the end go through and give everyone feedback as far as how their talk went and tell them these are your areas of filler words, your ums, your ahs, so's, etc. And this is basically bringing into awareness areas of improvement because we're basically just going along working our programs that we have in our body and our minds. It's an unconscious thing where it's not in our awareness that we're saying these things. There's actually one gentleman in our there's one right there. There's one gentleman in Toastmasters who kept saying the same thing multiple times, and he wasn't able to actually correct that until it was brought into his awareness. So how I relate this to health is basically we may be going through things throughout our day that we just deal with. Or maybe we have knee pain, maybe there's headaches that we have all the time. You're dealing with issues in your period, there's cramping and bloating, digestive issues, all these things that you may have accepted as having to be a part of your everyday, which doesn't have to be. The real question you want to ask is once you're aware of these things, you're noticing the headaches, maybe you're having nausea in the morning, you can't eat, you're having issues digesting fatty foods, or even just climbing up the stairs. Mobility is an issue when you get up in the morning. Just these things that are happening, and it doesn't have to be related to age. I know a lot of people, even today that I spoke to, well, I'm getting older, such and such a number. That's bull. No, age is nothing but a number. It's all a mindset. Age does not reflect your health. You decide how you're going to be impacted, how your health is going to be. You have choice and resources out there that you can choose from in order to improve your health. One of the biggest ways you can do that is what you're consuming. And I know, Kate, I can see you're out there watching, and she is someone who has spoken greatly about her progress dealing with MS in the past, and as far as deciding to do something different because she was tired of the medical system, tired of being dismissed for symptoms, and tired of basically being on track for a life that meant she couldn't live the way she wanted to be. And you have that power and that capability to do that as well. You can empower yourself to decide, I don't want to go down this road. I don't want to. In her case, the doctors were telling her, eventually you're going to be in a wheelchair. Eventually you're not going to be able to walk. And even some people in her life said, you're not going to be able to play sports anymore. You're not going to do all these things. And who decides that? And of these things that maybe you're starting to be aware, the physical things you're dealing with on a daily basis, even just asking yourself the question, is this something normal that I could be experiencing? Could it be different? Are you open to it being different? Do you want something different? It's a good question to ask yourself. Do you really want it to be different? Because it can be if you decide that you want it to be. There are many resources out there. Kate says, I think the body gives you symptoms to slow you down in a sense to get a chance to work on whatever is needed. It's the check engine light that comes on in the car when it's telling you something's not working right in the vehicle. And I know I've heard some stories where people have that light's on for a long time and they're not addressing it. What things are happening in the meantime if you're not addressing that check engine light? What other problems, or is the problem becoming worse? What things are going on with that? It's like we all have smoke alarms in our homes to alert us when there's danger or alert us when there's something wrong in the house. So if you're not listening to the symptoms or not addressing the check engine light, it's basically like removing that smoke detector. It's basically like you've disconnected that smoke detector, you've thrown it out, and you're not acknowledging it anymore. You're at risk for fires, and your health is in danger. Your life is in danger in that aspect. So if you're not listening to your body, being aware of the symptoms that your body is experiencing, how are you supposed to make it better? And if you are listening, and perhaps you're going down a route where maybe it's medical, and there's a lot of the times, not everyone, because I've heard of a good story about a doctor recently who was very much in a natural mindset, but a lot of cases, it's a Band-Aid approach. And what is the Band-Aid approach doing for you? Are you getting better results for your life? Are you feeling better? Is your day-to-day better? What does that look like? Are you having more symptoms from side effects from the medication, perhaps? Ultimately, what do you want? Yes, ignoring the smoke alarm is bad news, totally bad news. So is ignoring the messages from your body. Yeah, I think that's another good point, because we've got all this technology now and we're connected. We're so disconnected too. So very disconnected. It's something I'm working on as well, connecting back to my body, taking time to go outside. That seems to be the biggest draw for me right now, is just being and noticing nature, getting outside, putting your bare feet on the ground and just connecting. This last week, there was a storm passing through. Actually, it was Tuesday. There was a storm passing through, and I just stood outside because I was expecting this massive lightning storm, and I really enjoy watching those. And not a whole lot happened with the storm, but in that time, I just basically I was present and just in that moment and being aware of the storm coming through, the dark clouds, the wind was picking up, and just a calmness, if you will. Even though there was a storm coming through, I found a calm in just being present and taking in nature. That's something I think we need to kind of get back to and connect with our bodies and get ahead of. Well, you can get ahead of by being preventative. That's one way to do it. If you're listening to your body and handling these handling these symptoms at the cause, because that's the key thing. When you're having knee pain or digestive issues, headaches all the time, the question you want to ask, the question anyone should be asking is why? Why are you having that headache? Why are you having that knee pain? What is the cause of that? Because if you're not getting to the reason you don't know about there's a fire in the house, or the reason for the fire, how are you supposed to put it out? How are you supposed to address it? All these Band-Aid approaches, there are even natural Band-Aid approaches. I will give you that. How are we handling these things if we're not getting to the cause? The cause is something we need to look at more. And I just wanted to bring into this story about the grammarian, and basically this person's bringing awareness to what your programming is. You're in a trance of, this is how I speak normally. These are all the words I'm going to use. When you're trying to think of what to say, there's a lot of these ums and ahs and filler words. And the only way to improve anything is to have awareness of it. So if you could take a question today for yourself, maybe just tap into your body and see where something isn't working the way you want it to. Is there something not right? We intuitively know. We know when something's not right. And I know the parents out there, you know, especially if something's not right with your child, and it's no different for yourself. So take that innate intelligence, take that intuition and apply it to yourself. It is just as powerful. And just listen to your body. Tune in. And if you're looking for support in any way and you want to find out why these things are happening and you want to get to the cause, support your body and handle the cause as well so you can get better, so you can live the life the way you want to. Because ultimately, if you're not doing that, what's it costing you? What is it costing you if you're not taking care of your health now? What is it costing you down the road? How is your life going to be if you're not handling all the toxins that we interact with day to day? The reason for your headache, if it's parasites, if it's heavy metals, radiation. We're surrounded by technology, as I said, and there's lots of radiation coming off that can impact our bodies. Is there a hormone issue, and why do we have that hormone issue in our body? There's so many things going on. So if there's anything that you're dealing with that you want support and help through, and you actually want answers, at Align Natural Health, we actually want to hear what's going on with you. We want to find out as much as we can about what you're dealing with. And we want to also find you answers and get things. We want to get you better. We want to see you living the life that God intended. And I think that's kind of where I'll leave it. Again, reach out, send us a message if you have any questions. We're always available, myself or Kate, and we'd love to hear from you. Let me just see what other comments are here before I sign out. Kate says, I felt medicine let me down. I know I'm not alone. Exactly. And that's why that message is so important to get out there. That's one thing I asked a client who's been dealing with a lot of stress to do this week. Put your bare feet in the grass or on the beach. Yeah, there's wherever you can do that, even if it's just 5 minutes, take that. Sometimes being more is important than doing. Yeah, there's that whole, I know you've talked about that before, Kate, with the feminine and masculine energy. And sometimes we're out of balance with being more of the masculine, which is the doing energy. Feminine is kind of more just being creative, being in itself, and then creative is separate and receiving. And the world, the way it is now, has kind of moved more into the masculine in a lot of aspects. And I know that's, for myself, that's even can be a thing. So it's just something else to be aware of. Sometimes if you're heavier into the masculine side of things and always doing, maybe you just need to take a second and flip into the feminine energy and just be. Just be with yourself. Just be present with nature, whatever brings you joy, just whatever you gravitate towards. Just find that balance and tune into your body. And with that, I hope everyone has an amazing weekend. I don't know what the weather is, but hopefully it's wonderful and everyone can get outside, get some sunshine. The sun has amazing, powerful rays that it sends down to the world. We needed the spectrum of light in order to, one, be able to sleep properly and to be able to heal. There's so many functions in our body that we need the whole spectrum of sun. The best is generally in the morning for sunrise and in the evening for sunset. This is the infrared light coming from the sun. So take advantage of those beautiful rays coming from the sun. Have a wonderful weekend and live well naturally.